IDS has just been sold to the consultancy arm of a large US corporation. The entire tranche of senior management has been right-sized. Mark Layton, the ex-managing director, has been barred from the building by the new incumbent, Buck Dollar, because of his violent outbursts.
Why didn't you let me in? Blast you, Dollar!
Members of the senior management team have become jobless and even homeless, haunting the site of their former glory.
We've got no chance of getting a meeting now with Buck Dollar, I reckon.
Guess we'll just have another drink then.
Cheers.
Now running the company is the new hard-nosed American chief executive, Buck Dollar, played by Paul Hodgson.
I don't care if it is Christmas. You're all fired. Now, what does it say about unfair dismissal in here? Mr. Dollar is ably assisted by his number 2, Darius De La Cruz, played by Steve Glenn.
Mr. Layton? Again? Yes, put him through. Hello, Mark. Yes, we've been through this before. I understand you used to be the MD of this company, but Mr. Dollar is a very busy... All I can say is I'll raise your concerns with him at the next meeting. Okay, goodbye.
We joined Buck and Darius prior to their first meeting.
DC, in my office, now. Now, DC, I wish I could say I'm pleased to open this new era of IDS, but to be quite honest with you, the corporation's bought a lame duck, and it's our job to make it fly.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, sir. Not so much fly, maybe waddle. But anyway, I thought we could, before we look at our own situation, we could look at our direct competitors.
And who are they?
IRS, sir. Industrial Relations Services.
IRS? And we're called IDS? What's the matter with you guys? Why haven't you sued their ass? Don't you have any lawyers working for you?
Well, I'm coming to that, sir, but about IRS. Basically, they copy our publications and poach most of our staff.
Do we know anyone there?
Yes, there's a few employees that have made the move. The latest to do so is a young chap, sir. Barton. Paul Barton.
Right. That's it then. What we need is some kind of smear campaign, and this kid Barton could be just what we need.
What do you have in mind?
Well, we had a similar situation to this back in the States one time, and what we decided to do was to frame a few of our competitors' employees.
In what way?
Well, the usual Class A drugs, hookers, that sort of thing. And then we leaked the information to the press and waited for our companies to lose credibility.
And did it work?
Hell yeah! Then we followed up the moves with a marketing campaign, bad-mouthing the companies. That's what we'll do here, starting with this drug plant on this Barton kid. Then we'll have a few more plants, and then that's when we bring on the hookers. We'll need to catch all this on film, though.
Yes. I can just imagine it now. It's definitely plausible, sir. But how do we follow it up?
With a great marketing campaign. TV ads, mail shots, posters. Would you base your most important decisions on junkies and curb crawlers? 'Cause you already are. IRS, the employment agency for Class A drug users and whores. I love it. So what's next?
I thought we could look at the company on an approximately alphabetical basis, starting with Breathe.
Sounds okay, DC. Bottlenecks usually occur at the top.
A strange bunch on Breathe, though, sir.
You're telling me. I was up there this morning and it was completely deserted. Like the Mary Celeste. The only sound I could hear was one of snoring.
Really?
Yeah. We used to have a department like that back in the States. We used to call it the Bigfoot Department.
And why was that?
Well, there were sightings of staff for over 20 years, but nobody knew if they really existed. But anyway, I did manage to track down the guy that heads up this section. What's his name?
Gibbon, sir.
Gibbon, right, yeah. He was with that Raj Jethwan guy.
I think you actually mean Raj Jeffwas.
Yeah, that's him. Anyway, they were having this kind of name-dropping thing. Is that some kind of English ritual?
Well, it's not that I'm aware of, sir.
Well, it's gotta stop. Get rid of the both of them. More importantly, what about the number of staff on that section? The bottom line is, there's too many. They're lawyers, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what's the story? They got some dirt on the company?
It's definitely something we need to be looking into, sir, but headcount levels throughout the company are what we should be concerned with.
Dollar? DC, Elaine wants me to tell you that the sandwich man is here.
Very good, sir. I fancy a BLT, but anyway, about downsizing, I've approached a number of consultancies and I believe it's Arthur Anderson have the answer that we need.
And what have Arthur Anderson got to offer?
It's known as their ARSE procedure.
What the hell is that?
Arse, sir. Apparently there's two types, soft arse and hard arse. The soft arse version is known as acceptable reasons to subtract employees, whereas hard arse is a bit more of a vulgar expression. I think you can see for yourself, sir. Of course, Arthur Anderson are experts in both areas, particularly the latter.
I bet they are.
Therefore, I think it's paramount that we definitely look into Arthur Anderson's arse. It's just a question of whether we choose hard arse or soft arse.
Well, if we have to make a decision, it's gotta be hard ass. By the time I finish with this organization, it's gonna have buns of steel.
Hey, DC, that should tone up the butt of the organization. There's too much damn cellulite here anyway. Now, isn't there some other rabble up there on that floor?
Computer, sir.
The hippie and the dame?
The same, sir. But before we go on, I think I should say we need to keep the woman, Liz. She's got a disc downloaded with some explicit material from your PC.
Yeah, they were pictures from my daughter, Mary. She's a medical student.
Oh, a gynecological major, sir? But anyway, Liz, I think, is a hard-working, punctual, a high-value-added employee.
Stop drilling, man. You've struck oil. Okay, she got some dirt on you too?
Well, it's quite possible, sir, but I would never let that cloud my judgment.
Sure. Okay, so what's the name stays for both our benefits. But you get me those discs, okay?
Definitely, sir. And what about Phil Scott?
The hippie, okay. He's got to go. But first, before that, make him tender for his job at half the pay, get his hair cut, and then sack him. What's next, DC?
Next, sir, is the European section.
European, okay. They're linguists, right? How many languages do they speak?
I think 2 or 3 each.
Each? Including English?
Well, I assume
Well,
so.
it's not enough, for Christ's sake. Sack them and get some real linguists in.
Very well.
What's after European?
After European, we decided to look at subscriptions or customer services.
Subscriptions. Yeah, they're all women, right?
Nearly all women.
Okay. Maybe some uniforms, yeah. Something sassy. Short skirts? Something like that?
Don't you think that could be construed as a bit sexist, sir?
Oh, god damn it, man. It's presenting the image of IDS to the outside world. I've never seen a place with so many identity problems.
Okay, very well. And the gentleman, sir?
Yeah. Jamestown. He'd look kind of cute in some kind of lederhosen. Maybe we could do the whole Tyrolean thing.
I don't think that's such a good idea, sir. If you remember what happened between you and young Hans in the Salzburg office.
Yeah, okay, DC, maybe you're right. Well, you sort it out. I don't pay the monkey to play the tune myself, you know. Have you straightened yourself out now, DC?
Yes, sir, yes, thank you. I think we should look at pensions now, then.
We have a pensions department?
I believe so, sir.
Ah, pensions. That's ironic, 'cause I want to pension off pensions.
Most amusing, sir, but aren't they a bit young?
I don't care.
But how will you do it?
What do I pay you for, DC?
I'll get onto it straight away.
I mean, nobody's interested in pensions now anyway, not even pensioners. Nobody's gonna have a pension by the year 2010. Certainly not if they save with Save and Prosper. Now, what can you tell me about this report section, DC?
How would you Americans say it? Yes, Pinko, sir.
I wish that was the case, DC, but to be honest, we've got a hornet's nest of fully fledged Reds up there. I want them watched. All of them.
And what about studies, sir? I'm not sure about that Cowie fellow. I don't trust him.
Neither do I. But the real problem is that Dick Hartson fellow.
Oh, Richardson, sir.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, there's a few interesting rumours about this particular chap. Some of them actually involving criminal charges.
I like it. Go on.
Well, he's been accused of falsifying absence records, and I happened to get hold of this police footage that was taken recently.
I can't believe these absence levels are correct.
Falsifying his own absence records?
Well, this is how it began, but this led to falsifying colleagues' records, and the obsession grew to such an extent that he broke into other organisations, hacked into their systems, and began falsifying their absence records too.
The crafty son of a bitch! And what was the outcome?
Well, the company started paying for therapy, and he now works 1 day a week at home. And on that particular day, he's replaced by a body double.
And hasn't anybody noticed?
They don't seem to, sir. The double has been instructed just to talk about certain subjects, absence, sickness, the company pension scheme, and of course, plane spotting.
Anyhow, that may or not have been the case, but I don't want anyone who travels around the world, stays at airports, watching pieces of aluminum trundle around the airport, working at my company. Sort out his termination arrangements, and while you're at it, add a few sick days to his record. He won't like that.
The other studies issue is this Ed Brown fellow, sir. Our people have been looking into his background and have uncovered some very interesting facts.
Like what?
Like he served in Nam, he won 2 Purple Hearts and received a commendation from your president himself. He's an ex-SEAL and a US citizen.
Wow! So what's he doing here?
Apparently he's still a wanted man by the Vietnamese, and subsequently the CIA provided him with a new identity, gave him plastic surgery, that sort of thing, and this is what he used to look like before all this happened.
Now that's the kind of guy I want in this company. But we're getting off the subject here, DC. Downsizing, which reminds me, the NPR problem.
Fran Penningston, sir?
No, not her. Tooting. His name's Tooting. Steve Tooting.
Tatton, sir.
Yeah, that's him. Claims he's some kind of cross between Kevin Costner and Robert Redford.
I hadn't noticed any resemblance.
You're damn right there. But anyway, you know those guys on report we mentioned earlier? The Reds?
Yes.
Well, this guy is infrared. Huh. What's more, the guy's got an argument problem the size of Texas.
What do you mean?
The guy can argue the hind legs of a desert mule, goddammit. He's gotta go. He's bad news. I don't like him.
Okay.
Now, what's next?
Production, sir.
Yeah, now, there we have a real problem. I never know what these guys are doing. What are they working for? Report, brief, NPR, pensions? We gotta get some sort of system worked out here.
I've had an idea to solve this problem myself, sir. Do you mind if I bent it over, slapped his ass, and see if it screamed?
You English and your vernacular expressions. Go ahead, DC, pitch me some ball.
Yes, well, I thought we could have some sort of visual or oral methods which made it obvious who each production person was working for.
Okay, like what?
Well, for example, if someone was working for Mr. Hatchett, they would wear a false beard.
Good, good.
For Mr. Cowie, they would talk in a Northern Irish accent.
Yeah.
And, well, for example, if they worked for Mr. Tatton on NPR, they would just argue about every single change that was made.
Damn right.
Yeah, I get your drift, DC. Let's put it into operation tomorrow. I want a mock-up of Hatchett's beard in my office first thing. And I want the Carter woman in for a fitting. Isn't there someone called Brendan Garraway? They should be okay on the Irish accent.
It's Brenda, sir.
Oh, book him in for the dialect coach.
Okay, sir. Well, that seems to have wrapped up most of the matters, except that one issue that we spoke about last week.
Ah, yeah, some kind of puppet. Yeah, we need some kind of puppet to run this organization, nominally. A figurehead kind of guy. Somebody who knows the organization inside out and does what he's told.
Yes, weren't you talking to some of the previous executives about this matter?
Yeah, I had a word with Desmond Lindop. He mentioned some guy, Don Arnold. Sounds like some kind of big-time mafioso.
I think you mean Ronald.
Oh yeah, that's the man, yeah. Anyway, I want him.
Oh, so you're going to bring him out of retirement then?
Yeah, bring him in tomorrow morning.
We joined Mr. Dollar the next morning after the fitting of the beard with Nicky Carter.
Well, that seems to fit just fine, Nicky. That'll be very nice. Okay, thanks. Yes, you can go now. Bye-bye. Don, baby, come in. Okay, come in, Don, come in. How was the journey? Was it okay? How do you feel?
Oh, I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Dollar. I've been wanting to get my hands on this company for 30 years.
No problem, Don. Take it away, Don, baby. She's all yours. I thought maybe, we could have a game of golf this afternoon. DC, man, what the hell are you doing with that axe?
I've had second thoughts. I've decided that I would like to be the figurehead of this company. You promised me that much back in the States.
But the axe, man, for Christ's sake, you can't. Oh my God, DC, you killed him. DC, put down the axe. And what are you wearing that hat for? My God, I've heard of somebody stepping into another man's shoes, but just because you cut his head off.
Take that, you Yankee bastard!
Oh! God! Oh! You lying scumbag, stand up and fight! I thought you trusted me. I'd have given you the world, you scum! Okay, take that! And that! And that!
Darius Dela Cruz died later in hospital from internal injuries. Buck Dollar pleaded self-defense and was acquitted. He now resides in Salzburg with Hans, where the two of them run a Cathedral Boys choir.
Up to the 27th. Yeah. Oh.
There's no.